We live in an era where it is incredibly easy to confuse consuming data with making actual progress. We download the right podcasts, buy the best books, and obsessively research a subject until we feel like experts. But we never actually take action. You can spend hundreds of hours studying optimal nutrition and mapping out the perfect resistance routine. But the guy who gets strong is the one who skips the research, walks into the gym, and picks up the barbell. Knowing exactly how a bicep curl works leaves you completely weak until you experience the physical strain of doing it. The trap here is mistaking intellectual assent, simply agreeing that a concept is true, for active obedience, which means actually living as if it is true. Piling up information without physical execution gives us a quick hit of dopamine. We feel like we are moving forward. Yet if you look closely, our daily habits, our actual lives, remain exactly the same. The biblical text of James warns about this exact disconnect. It describes the person who only listens to advice, not as lazy, but as someone trapped in deep self-delusion. James compares engaging with harsh truths to looking in a mirror. When we read a challenging text, we look closely at our reflection and see our deepest impurities, the anger we hide, the pride we harbor, the flaws we ignore. Here is the toxic loop. The listener spots that flaw and gets a brief self-righteous rush just for noticing it. Then they walk away without doing the hard work of scrubbing it off. The doer sees the exact same blemish and immediately acts to clean it. Endlessly consuming self-improvement or theology without altering your behavior is literally just staring into a mirror. It feels incredibly productive in the moment, but it accomplishes absolutely nothing. This passive paralysis stems from how we define the word knowledge. We are operating on a deeply flawed Western definition. In our modern framework, we believe that to know something is to successfully hold its data in our brain. By this logic, if you memorize the aerodynamic physics of drag and airflow, you know how a parachute works. The ancient Hebrew mind viewed this completely differently. In that model, true knowledge simply does not exist without experiential reality. You do not actually know that a parachute works until you jump out of the plane, fall through the sky, and trust your physical life to the fabric above you. Apply this rule to morality. You might be able to beautifully articulate the theology of forgiveness, but if you secretly harbor a grudge against someone who wronged you, you don't know forgiveness. You only know its dictionary definition. Under this ancient framework, if your daily actions do not perfectly mirror the information you consume, you do not possess knowledge. Jesus offers a sharp structural metric for this exact problem in his teaching of the two builders. Two builders receive identical inputs. Both men heard the exact same words to build a house. The critical variable is what sits underneath. The left is built on loose, shifting particles, intellectual agreement without action. The right sits on an immovable block of behavioral change. In this specific teaching, the solid rock isn't a metaphor for Jesus himself. It specifically represents the action of obedience to him. The long-term structural integrity of a person's life is determined entirely by their physical execution, never by their rate of consumption. Both systems are guaranteed to face a violent stress test. Severe suffering, conflict, or tragedy will eventually strike both the theorist and the practitioner. For the person who only listened, the outcome is complete collapse. A foundation built strictly on theoretical agreement shatters under the massive weight of real tragedy. But the person who actively applied the text hardens and stands firm. Their faith holds up because it was already structurally woven into their daily habits. This structural failure explains a terrifying warning found elsewhere in the text. People crying out, "Lord, Lord," believing they are perfectly safe because they mastered the religious vocabulary, only to be rejected because their lives lacked actual obedience. You can easily fake the right words and consistent attendance when the weather is calm. You can never fake the fruit of a disciplined life when the pressure hits. It is time to run a ruthless audit on your own behavior to see exactly where you are hoarding information. Are you obsessively reading about patience but constantly snapping at your family? Are you studying relationship dynamics but completely terrified to approach someone? You have to stop endlessly analyzing the workout plan and finally walk into the gym to lift the weight. Genuine human growth, and Christianity itself, is not a philosophy meant to be safely debated from a distance. It is a brutal, transformative path that must be walked.